Hey everybody, it's Rob here. There are 3 new Uber Uniques coming into the game together with Runewords, and I want to make this video and quickly talk about the effects of each of them, and also, as you see here, like how some crazy combinations are possible. We are on the Barbarian, we are in stealth mode, we are proccing the Druid Wolves, we are basically playing a Summoner Barbarian, and there's all sorts of like crazy effects that you can do here with these 3 new runewords. So I want to talk about all 3 of them. The first one here is the Shroud of the False Death. This is the one that we're using right now to make all this craziness happen. And the first effect that comes to mind here is that it gives +1 to all passives. And this one, basically, if you're looking at the tree here, for those of you that haven't seen, you're basically getting 1 rank to literally every passive but the key passive, and for most classes this will mean that you're getting about 40%, 30 to 40% damage and toughness increase. For example, on the barb here we're getting multiple new ranks in the imposing presence passive, like giving us life. We are getting ranks here to the multipliers of heavy-handed, wallop, brute force, and just like a bunch of other things here that really help us out. And this +1 to all passives even gives you ranks to passive that normally, for example, Booming Voice would not have any additional passive ranks on the gear. So pretty crazy. But probably one of the craziest combination with this chest here, that it gives you stealth. And you see here on the Barbarian I can get stealth, and I can basically use this to invoke a power from another class and proc the soul rune here that we have in our weapon here. So this is basically the Forbidden Alpha effect. It allows me then to proc all these wolves by gaining like insane amount of offering. You guys can see this here. We can also use this like just with our main weapon and the Druid's Petrify, and you'll see how fast it stacks up. Boom, like it basically procs immediately when it's ready. And it's pretty crazy how much offering you can generate that. You see here, this is the stealth icon, like this is a Barbarian, and he's like very stealthy, right? And even as we like keep walking around here, it's gonna keep proccing this Petrify whenever it's on cooldown, basically. It's an insane amount of offering that we are getting here. And there's like all sorts of crazy effect that we can proc. So I showed you the Forbidden Alpha, the wolves. I'll show you some more. This one here is, for example, the Dancing Bolts from the Druid. You can go completely crazy, and I think it's a very cool way to make it proc like there's no tomorrow, basically, with these. I don't know if they're gonna tune this down. You can also shoot, like here, this is like a new Spirit-born attack that basically shoots out, you see, poison at the enemies here, like boom, 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 shoots out this poison. There is meteorites on the sword, like I can literally just walk around and proc meteors like all the time, right? I'm not even doing anything, like it just procs Earthquake, it's because I'm standing still, and then it procs like all these meteors, and I'm still a stealth buff, so the monsters can't even see me. And there's just all sorts of crazy combination that you can do with this Shroud of the Nameless. It's also one of the only chests that has resource generation, and you're also getting a bunch of additive, all stats and life. This additive is like every time you break stealth like this, you basically gain a huge damage bonus here. You can get this up to, I think, almost 1000% more damage. And again, it's a big multiplier for every class anyways, and we can have some fun with all these cool new passives here. Now we are proccing stun grenades here on top of this, and it basically just like instantly staggers the bosses and stuff. So there is a lot of cool stuff. I kind of like the wolves here the most, when we just like activate like all the wolves and we basically become a full summoning barb. So this item is super fun, and again I think the +1 to all passive is very creative thing to see. And also this stealth, again combining with the soul rune, basically procs everything here. And see, I have an entire army of wolves that I can command to attack the target and basically like bite down on this boss. And I mean, maybe you could do this on a necro, and these wolves, like they will count as minions, right? And you're gonna have like, I don't know how many this is, but this is like about a true full pack of wolves that I can then tell to, you know, please attack this guy, and they'll keep jumping around and giving all kinds of bonuses if you combine it with various of the pet multipliers. So a super cool combination here possible. So Shroud of the Nameless, a very cool item. Next item I want to talk about is the Heir of Perdition. This one gives 200% damage to angels and demons, and right now this seems to be a multiplier, right? So if you are equipping this, again, like the endgame version looks pretty insane. It gives you a bunch of damage on these items, and it can go up to, it's down here, and it can go up to 54% crit chance. So you just equip this, and there's multiple things that are gonna happen. So first of all, you're gonna see this damage empowered by Lilith. This literally gives you a 1.6x multiplier from the secondary alone, already making it a viable alternative here to a Shaco. And also, if this is upgraded, you can get up to 54% crit chance, big luckier chance, which is insane for the rogues. You get movement speed and you get ranks to core skills, and as well as this 1.6 multiplier that you can get twice if you are playing in a party, for example with like a support character or with another party member and you're just like basically the main DPS dealer. And I'm very much looking forward to try out this new cool Lilith effect here in the new raid system and see how crazy it can basically get with these various different multipliers here. And again, right now this 200% angel damage to Angel of Demons, we don't know exactly what it hints at, but there's various monsters in the game that are angels and demons, and right now this one seems to be multiplier, not additive. So right now this item is basically played on almost everything you build, and it's replacing the Harlequin's Crest, at least on a lot of builds. And once they fix this bug, hopefully for the live game, it's gonna go a bit down. But still, I think it's a very interesting and cool helm, and I really like to see that the Diablo team is adding good alternatives here to the Harlequin's Crest. Then the last new Uber Unique on the list here is a Shattered Vow. This is like a barbarian polearm, and this literally just does what it says. It executes every enemy that has more bleed or more damage over time than actual life. And this also, I confirmed this, works for party members. Like it does work, you can execute the bosses. It's just gonna show you an execute message, and also might be a pretty cool way of you know, supporting your party members. Let's say you are playing with like a Firewall Sorcerer or with an Endariel's Rogue. It has a bunch of poison damage, and you can just come in on your barb and you attack the boss once, and then it's gonna execute him if he has, you know, more dot than HP. And it also gives you the Berserking, right? Like you see here, like I just used Longstorm and it gave me Berserking, and you can also gain this Berserking on other classes. And there's another crazy thing I wanted to show you with this Shattered Vow. It's gonna require me to go back onto my Rogue, and basically the Rogue can equip the Shattered Vow. And this is obviously like some sort of bug. It should not happen, because the Rogue now not only has a viable spin to win build, it also can cast Warcry, and it can also wield 4 weapons, just like the Barbarian. So let me log onto my spin to win Rogue, and I'll show this to you here real quick. It's a pretty fantastic mechanic and allows you to stack even more stats. However, this is just some weird bug. This can be done on any class that normally can't use a polearm, like the Rogue. Like you don't have, you know, you don't have a slot for the polearm. Let me get back my helm here and I'll just show you quickly. So here, this is the polearm. So let me go into the training dummies again. So you see here, the Rogue has no slot to equip a polearm, right? Like there's only 3 weapon slots. You have 1 2-hander, 2 1-handers on the Rogue. But what you actually can do, and this also is represented in the stats here, I can go in this. Right now I have 5,000 vulnerable. But now, like you see, I can just right click this weapon and boom, it appears, and the vulnerable damage goes up. So you might ask, wait, where did it go? Like this is a polearm, so I now have it equipped on my Rogue. You see, it gives me all these bonuses here. Damage while bleeding, damage while poison. This is like the damage over time increase it has. And it also gave me the vulnerable damage, you see. And I can actually like move another one and equip it. And I just right click it right now and it switches it. You see, like there's an extra slot that's invisible. It doesn't show, but it's actually equipped and you're actually getting the stats and the bonuses from this. So I can basically just start on my Rogue here and we can just spin around. And you see here, like I'm already getting Berserking even without having casted the Warcry. So, see, my Warcry is not even up, and my Berserking is already going. So, I'm basically getting the full Shattered Vow here on the Rogue. Now, obviously, and I really hope this is gonna be fixed, but yeah, the Rogue has come a full cycle, guys. We have Whirlwind, a Dance of Knives, which is literally one of the best builds in the game, and a much better Whirlwind build than we could ever have on a Barb at the moment. And we also have a 4th weapon slot, and we also have Warcry on this Rogue. So this is like truly a Barbarian now, just identifying as a Rogue momentarily. And yeah, this Rogue is doing insane amounts of damage. especially if we're looking at the victimized key passive here, basically giving you like 20 million damage here, 10,000% weapon damage, just because we are basically stacking now all this vulnerable, and it's going completely crazy with this new Uber Uniques. But yeah, I think it's a very cool addition having these new Mythic Uber Uniques, and I'm very much looking forward to more ways that people come up with to incorporate them in their builds. But yeah, I think for now the best one here is the Heir of Perdition, which is basically a no-brainer on most builds, 1.6x. It also allows me here to easily max my crit chance just by having this effect on, and a lucky hit chance is very insane for the rogues to movement speed core skills, like pretty much only useful stats, and then again the 1.6 multiplier, probably the best Mythic Unique at the moment. But again, there might be final tweaks and changes, and I'm fully expecting this Shattered Vow 4 weapon slot on Rogue to be changed down in the future. But yeah, just wanted to show you some of the cool mechanics here, invoking other classes with the stealth, switching the Shattered Vow, and also the Heir of Perdition just being like the new meta helm at the moment. Hope you enjoyed, my friends. We'll do more PTR testing, and I'll see you soon. GG. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.